I have got a treat for you today. Back up in Scotland and we're playing Panmure Golf Club. This is one of those brand new videos in my brand new series where we play a different golf course every single week, on course tips. Starting on the 14th, we're going to play our way in here. We're starting with a par 5, 5-3-3. We're not going to play it quite off the tips, we're going to play it off the whites. And if there's one thing you got to think about here is the out of bounds down the right hand side. So what I've tactically done is I've teed my golf ball up on this right hand side. I've also got a yardage to that first bunker which I know I can't reach. So that one that's in the distance there, I know I can aim at it. If it goes dead straight, I will stay short of it. It's always good to know that if you can aim at a bit of trouble down the opposite side of where the out of bounds is, you can use that to your advantage. If you didn't know that yardage, we might try and go in the middle. We let it tail off, it could tail out of bounds. Good course management. Let's get into today's video. Ball back, quiet legs, fade it. Oh, I've towed it a bit, guys. Simmer. Now, as part of this series, we're also going to score our way in. Best score so far, Montrose, front 9, 1 under par, I think we were. So, yeah, definitely have to lay up here because looking where I've hit it, I've sort of hit it about here, short of this bunker that I said. And there's another bunker up here. I'm going to just have to hit sort of a wedge out. I mean, I could get super aggressive and try and go for it, but I really don't think there's any need. And we've got to think about it this way. Most of us would probably have a shot on this hole. So if we've got a par 5 and we do have a shot, it's really making sure that we don't bite off more than we can chew. Safe as houses. A little firm, little firm. Oh my lord, that's a bad 3-putt to start. It's a really key point. Don't let that affect your round. Move on to the next. Yeah, I feel a bit upset that I made bogey there. Really, I thought I played it well. I think one bad shot. That was that first putt. But first hole of the day for me. 227 par 3. This is a long one. Wow. I'm going to have to go 3-iron here. 227 par 3. 3-iron. Now, good things about links golf here. And do you know what? I came here preparing to talk about the wind a lot, and I've still not done it because we've not had a breath of wind. I'm not playing any wind on any of these shots. And I'll sort of judge that on the start of the day of like, where's the wind? What's the wind doing? And I'll take that sort of judgment of the wind throughout the whole round. But I've seriously not had to do it one bit here. Okay, let's hit this one away. I'm going to play sort of like a running shot in here, use the fact that there's no trouble short, and get this on the green. So how I'm going to play this shot right here, I'm going to move the ball slightly back in my stance, put my weight on my left hand side. Now, both those two factors will encourage my club path to be a little bit into out on the arc because I'm hitting the ball earlier. So I'm going to aim my body a little bit left and swing a little bit left with my swing direction to allow me to play a bit of a straighter shot. So get behind the ball, club down, ball back, weight a little left, swing a little left, tiger stinger. I have left myself one here. I have to go 54. Now we'd talk about the bunkers here. I mean, there's nothing to say apart from absolutely majestic. Like, we're following the green stuff round and it's just prepared beautifully, absolutely beautifully. I love how like my ball like rolled in here. It was sort of pitching around here, nice shot. Could have gone either way. If it got a little bit of a roll that way, it might make the green. This one sort of just rolled in. I'm not looking forward to this shot, purely because it's such a hard one. So long bunker shot, this is sort of a catch-22 here because I have such a steep lip. Everything about this shot is screaming my lob wedge, but because I've got such a distance to carry to the green and I know it's not going to roll out much here because I'm coming out the sand with some spin, I'm going to have to go my 54. My ideal scenario is if the lip was a bit lower, I'd probably go 50 or pitching wedge, but I'm just not going to be able to get it up quick enough. So I'm going to adopt that same stance as I would with 58 with my 54 and just get this as close as I can. Make sure you get it out first and foremost, don't compound this error. I mean, I'm extremely happy with that shot there. Played it nicely. It's all about club selection, that one, and using and trusting the same technique. Don't bite off more than you can chew, and that's in two aspects. Don't try and go 58 and hit it really hard, but also don't go to the other aspect of, oh, I think pitching wedge might be the better option here, because the last thing and last resort is you leave it in the bunker. What an up and down that one is. Nice par, move on to the next. So we're still one over par. Let's move on to the 16th here, 381 par 4. Now this one looks like it's fraught with danger and bunkers everywhere. I'm not going driver here, purely for a few reasons. We've got some bunkers right about where I'm going to land driver at sort of that 260 mark. Even though sort of those bunkers will be in play with my 3-iron, I feel like I can negotiate them a little bit better. I mentioned this at Carnoustie in one of the holes there, I think it was 11, that there's always going to be shots, right? There's always going to be shots and there's always going to be holes that are tough. And on those holes, I think you've got to have a club where you feel comfortable taking on that trouble. Like in this instance, a links golf course is notoriously for its fairway bunkers. Don't go in them, avoid them. Like Tiger at Royal Liverpool, you're probably going to do all right, okay? So you've got to find that club, and maybe that's 3-wood for you, maybe that's 3-iron, maybe that is driver, but it's having that club where you know you're comfortable and you've got a good chance of hitting a fairway in a high pressure scenario like this. And what a tee box, right? Can we just take this in? Hitting out the shoot of the trees. Absolute beaut. So a little bit of a punch from me, ball slightly back in my stance, similar shot I played to on the last, set this away. Now this ball is going to be a little bit above my feet, so there's something that I take into account here, especially with a lofted club. So if that ball's sort of slightly above your feet, this ball is going to want to start a little bit left of your intended target line, and that is exaggerated even more so the more lofted club that you have. So if I had a sand wedge here, this exaggeration of the ball starting left would be even more. If I had sort of a 4-iron, that effect would be a little bit less, okay? Still would have an effect, but the more loft, the worse of this effect is. So I'm going to aim over the sort of heart of this bunker and let the fact the ball's above my feet draw it back in for me. Now this is an unbelievably stunning links green. So this green's like sort of in a bit of a bowl here. Bunkers are a little bit lower, a little bit of sides to this. I think I pitched a little bit further back here. Didn't actually come back as much as I thought on that wind, on that sort of lie, but the intention to what I was trying to do was there. Yeah, I pitched just at the front here. So perfectly played shot. And that's what I think you've got to think about here. If you're playing your worst golf, right, and I don't feel like I'm playing my best golf right now, I feel like I'm sort of holding it together with plasters this morning. But what you've got to think about here is, one thing you can do well, no matter if you're playing your best or your worst, is actually think about what you've got to do. Think about how you've got to play this. And anytime you're playing, whether it's a new course or whether it's a course that you've not played before or a course that you play all the time, let's get a course book. Let's actually encourage yourself to think about the shot that you're going to hit a little bit more, as opposed to, I know, we're all the same, right? We get into automatic pilot, yeah, that's the club I'm going to use. I always hit this off there, I always hit that off there. Let's get into that thing of actually thinking about what we're trying to do. so online. So online. That wraps us up for the end of part 1 on the Panmure course vlog. So far we've covered some fantastic tips that we will summarise in a PDF down below. But what we've got in order is 2 amazingly named holes, Old Road and Calcutta. I don't know why it's called Calcutta. Maybe you've got to hit a cut shot. Don't forget, if you did enjoy this vlog, it really helps me. It's new content. Please do share it. And I look forward to joining you for the final 2 holes and our final opinion on Panmure.